and welcome to Tottenham Country Road does F1. Yes, we're going into the murky world of Formula One as the final race of the season comes to its end in Abu Dhabi, where Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen are equal on points and we're heading to qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which is actually countdown to qualifying in 10 minutes' time. Alongside me today is a man, he's like the Martin Brundle of our YouTube channel. His knowledge of Formula One, he raced in no Grand Prix, he won no World Championships, but he could talk Formula One to the end of his days. It's Phil. Morning, Phil. How are you?
Morning, mate. Yeah, good. Looking forward to this. It's a welcome distraction from a certain lack of our main event, but yeah, no, it'll be good. You know, there's obviously a lot riding on it today. It's very cloak and dagger in there, so just looking forward to it getting started in about 10 minutes, and you know, starting to sort everything out.
Yeah. And down below me, I have a man who's more interested in Formula One than Peppa Pig is having lunch with a bunch of rabbits. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's Coover. Morning, Coover. How are you, sir?
Morning, Dermot. I'm looking forward to this so much. I barely slept last night.
We don't believe.
We don't believe you, but the show's good. The only person we've got watching us is Adam. So big up, Adam. Thank you for joining me. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. Well, we're 9 minutes anyway to qualifying. Phil, what's your hopes for qualifying? Who do you think will get pole? And can you give us your thoughts on the season as a whole?
It's obviously been a good season. There's been no lack of incident. Motivation doesn't really seem to continue, does it? You first have Max that pulls ahead, and then Lewis claws it back, and then Max gets together. I mean, my view for today, I genuinely don't know who's going to win, who's going to get pole. I wouldn't be surprised if Verstappen does, but obviously the Mercedes car is a lot faster, and I think on the open track tomorrow with the two long straights and everything, I think that Lewis will take it. There's always just the risk that an incident may happen, which you really don't want to see.
Now, and what have what's Michael Massey, the race director, said to the two drivers? Can you give us up to date on that?
He's just told them to be fair and no incident. So I think what he's saying is, do not get any drivers to take one or the other one out. You know, for Formula One itself, it's been, it's a massive week. It's the end of 21 races throughout the season. It's been running 9 months. What they don't want is it to end as a damp squib by just one of them coming off at a corner or taking the other one out. It has to be about the racing, and that's what we're all hoping for. Just looking at the poll, the poll that they've done on TV, who's going to be on pole? 66% Max. Lewis, and 33% Max. But you don't know if that's just, your British people sort of just going, yeah, we want Max to win.
And Coover, I know you don't like Formula One. Let's get that out there. But are you excited about this race, or are you excited about watching it with us, or what's your point? What's your whole thing?
I'm fully up to speed on this one, so I'm raring to go. The whole contest between David Hamilton and Baron von Richthofen, or whoever they are, it enthralls me. So let's watch some men drive around some track for a bit and go woohoo occasionally. Yeah, I'm all for it.
We could have done our own race and just got the Scalextrics out and just done a quick couple of laps.
We did. We've got Brian Daigle in the room. Good morning, Brian. But firstly, I want from all of us here at TTG, from all of our followers, from all the TTG army, we wish Bob's the very, very best on recovery from COVID. We've got no update. I don't know how he is, but we wish him all the very best. And, we hope to see you back on the screen soon, Bob. Tell us all to piss off. Cooper, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, he's at the centre of all our thoughts at the moment. Is Bob? He's a tremendously popular man around the channels with the other YouTubers, first of all, as well as people that tune in to watch him. Yeah, larger than life character. I've been following his shows for a lot longer than he thinks I have. I just haven't really interacted with him until recently, but he grows on you very quickly. Tremendous warmth from the man. So we're all praying, hoping, and praying for the best for him.
And you Phil, any words for Bob?
Yeah, absolutely. Similar to Kuva, he's part of the family, which is the most important thing. I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of weeks ago, and it was just like picking up with your long lost bud. He was just the nicest guy. Yeah, along with everyone else, just the nicest guy you could wish to meet. And we are desperately hoping that everything works out and he's good. So. A big up to him and a big up to Kim as well.
Yeah, and also a big up to Brian as well. I think he's coming back. So big up, Brian. Hope you're okay, brother. And Kim as well. And Arthur. I love goes out to all of you here from TTG. So yeah, yours and my thoughts, Bob, and we hope you we know you'll make a speedy recovery. Right, 5 minutes to go, Phil. Lads, shall we get on with it?
Certainly will.
Right. Okay. This is the Abu Dhabi qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This is the 12th time it's been held here at Abu Dhabi. Now, the track's been revised from last year. It was first held in Abu Dhabi in 2009. The most drivers that have won here has been Lewis Hamilton. The most construction wins is Mercedes with 6. The circuit length is 5.281 kilometers. That's 3.28 miles. And the race length is 190.253 miles with 58 laps. Phil, do you want to talk to people through qualifying can
I just stop you a sec?
Yeah, I know. I'm just about to do it.
All right, I'll just send Brian a link anyway, so he can come and give us an update.
Yeah. Very quickly, do you want to talk us through qualifying, how it works, Phil?
Yeah. So you have 3 sets of qualifying. So you're qualifying one. What happens is basically they all get the chance to go round, do their fastest lap, and the 5 slowest cars or the 5 slowest drivers are eliminated at the end of each one. So at the end of qualifying 1, you will lose places 16 to 20 because there's 10 teams with 2 drivers. Then at the end of qualifying 2, the next 5 leave their race, and then you have qualifying 3, which is your top 10, and that's obviously the one that does your they aim for their flying lap, which is the fastest lap. It's just a one-off. So what they'll tend to do is they'll go out, they'll do sort of a warm-up lap, and then absolutely hit that start line with absolutely flying so that they can do it. I can't remember what they estimate the time to be for a circuit. What is it, about 140, Dermot? Or
no, they're looking at a low 122s.
Wow.
They were doing 122s yesterday, high 122s. So looking at the low 122 to high 121s this morning today for the track. Lewis Hamilton was 200ths of a second quicker than Max Verstappen in third and final practice, wasn't it? Was that right?
0.2. So
yeah.
0.2 of a second, which again in normal language doesn't sound very much, but in motor racing that's a significant gap, isn't it?
Yeah. And Mercedes seem to have the fastest car. Kuva, if you were, say, team principal of Red Bull or you're a team principal of Mercedes, what would you be telling your drivers now going into this qualifying? How would you keep them calm? Like Max, this is Lewis Hamilton's 7th, and we've got Brian here for a quick update on Bob, sir. Morning, Brian. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you, everyone?
Morning, Brian.
We're all right. We're all worried about Bob and just trying to do something that doesn't take our minds off it for a little while. So, what's the latest you know?
I spoke to Kim about an hour ago, and the ventilator is becoming an option. I believe, from what I've understood, he hasn't actually seen a doctor yet. And I think he has when he first got admitted, but because obviously the NHS is so run under doing all this incredible work they're trying to do, doctors are very stretched. The nurses have been keeping him comfortable and whatever. But basically, it's not that he's declined, it's that he hasn't improved. So the ventilator at the moment, a doctor's seen him today. Kim has, the doctors have Kim's details and they'll be in touch with Kim, but he could be going on the ventilator. And that's where we're at. And then, yeah, we'll see if there's no improvement within a couple of days. I might be flying home on Thursday. So we'll see what happens. But that's where we are right now. At the moment, it's not that he hasn't improved. I'm sorry, declined. It's not that he hasn't declined, or it's not that he has declined, but he hasn't improved. So a doctor will be seeing him later, and he may be going on the ventilator. So that's where it is. And then obviously whilst I'm here, I'm going to be doing it all the time. Do you know what? He is my best mate. We are exceedingly close. And do you know, the comfort I'm taking right now is how fortunate he is to have Kim and how amazing Kim has been. I mean, bless her. She is absolutely incredible and doing everything she can. And he could not be in safer hands than with her, which is the one thing to take comfort from me being so far away. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly do all the update rather than writing in a message. So currently, that's where we are.
Well, thank you, Brian, and our prayers and thoughts with Bob, Bart, and Kim, and our thoughts and prayers with you as well, Brian. We're all here for you as well. If you need anything, you know where each of us are.
Of course, I'll be keeping people updated as soon as I hear from Kim. I'm trying to lighten the load on Kim because she's just doing so much. So yeah. So I will let you get on with the F1 because all I know is the cars go vroom. That's the extent of my F1 knowledge.
We're just trying to do something a bit different with no football. And we're just trying to have a bit of a laugh. So and also trying to lift people.
You're reaching
yeah, but we're just trying to lift people's spirits as well.
Well, you're doing it. The three of you, I will say something. Obviously, the three of you are fairly new to YouTube. Obviously, I know Phil quite well from when I was in England and we came on a couple of my streams. Kuva and you, Dermot, I've always seen in the comments, but obviously I've recently never interacted. But the work you three are doing and the content you're putting out is simply outstanding, and it's a pleasure to know you all. It's an honour to know you all, and just keep doing all the great work you're doing. And unfortunately, I might, and I mean this in the nicest way, unfortunately, I might get the chance to meet you very soon. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that my next time back is coming back in February to rip a new one from someone else. Certain person, I'll be on better circumstances. But if I'm there on Thursday, I'll be back for a month. We'll definitely meet up.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, guys. Listen, you're doing love to you all, and I will keep you all updated.
Thank you very much, Brian, for that.
All the best.
God bless you, sir. And again, our thoughts go out to Bob Spurt and Kim at this time. Bob, you're our fighter, so come on, you can do it. You can do it then. Thank you for Bob Spurt, Brian, for giving us all the very, very latest.
Okay, so
right.
Qualifying one.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to give us a quick update.
Right, so as I'm looking, you have the majority of drivers are out to
Verstappen's done the quickest first sector, by the way, and there was Hampton's just coming out of the pits.
Yeah, he's the only one that's done it. They're basically on their first sort of flying lap. Lots of sparks flying under the cars there, as it has been when they hit the curbs. But yeah, they're just Perez has just clocked a 124. So you were saying earlier that times would be about 122. So they're already. But some of your bigger teams, so like your Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, they don't need to be pounding those massive laps in at this stage because there's such a gulf in difference between your top racing drivers.
Well, there you go. Verstappen's just done a 123.680.
Yeah.
I mean, that should seem safety through the qualifying too. I don't think we need to do
interested he's half a second ahead of his teammate. But
Yeah. Well, he's been slow all season with Perez. He's only beaten him in qualifying twice all season.
well, he's one that he seems to be great at letting the tyres run and doing that longevity and being almost the partner. But
And
you know,
Hamilton's using the C5 compound soft tyre, which has got the red cycle on it. Hoover, what's your thoughts so far? 13 minutes into qualifying one.
I should probably put it on, shouldn't I?
so, well, I've got a question for you, Dermot. Talk us through the different tyres, because I'm not. Obviously, I know you got
Right.
soft, medium, and hard, but what the
Yeah,
difference
you've
is,
got-
where
I
you
think
should
that-
do them.
Yeah, the qualifying tyres, I think the race tyres is what, C4, C2, C3, and C4. The soft tyres is the softer of the compound. The medium tyre is in the middle. It's soft and medium, and then you've got the hard tyre, which can run for God knows how long. But Hamilton's just about to start his lap, so Phil, talk us around Hamilton's lap here.
Okay, well, off he goes with his first left-hand bend. There he goes. Looking quick, but they all look quick, and there's no one in front of him, so they've obviously picked their moment to bring him out. I mean, just looking at the other times, Raikkonen, something must have happened to him because he's 21 seconds behind Verstappen, but
He's slower than Verstappen, isn't he? After the first sector, and as Hamilton goes past, sorry, Phil.
Yeah, no, it's just hit the speed trap, so he's hit his speed of 198 miles an hour, so not too bad, not quite as fast as me when I go down to town, but you know he's getting there. But it looks at a very steady lap for him. This will probably be pretty much all he needs to be able to do. He's 0.2 of a second at the second time track ahead of Verstappen, so you would suggest this is all he's going to need to do. We'll probably finish this lap, do the one lap, to come in. Well, that looked a little bit of a wiggly turn there, but
he's coming up now to the final corner now. He was 0.185 quicker than Verstappen. What's he done here?
Yeah,
Jesus, that's quick.
So he's up nearly 0.4 of a second ahead, which again in racing terms is monumental. That's like giving a team a 2-goal head start, and Bottas, even more importantly for her, Mercedes, Bottas has just dropped in, which if that was how it finished with Hamilton, then Bottas, that really plays into Hamilton's hands.
Ocon's just been in the 124.3. Sainz in 7th place, but he's 1.052 seconds behind Hamilton. Alonso's just gone into 3rd on the 123.9. So your top 16 at the moment is Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen, Norris now into 4th, Alonso 5th, Gasly 6th, Ricciardo 8th, Perez 9th, Sainz and 10th. That's your top 10. We're on board now with Leclerc. He was slow in the first sector, personal best in the second sector. As he comes round now, the final sector. Let's see where he goes in. He goes in 12th. And then the other three, Russell is 13th, Giovinazzi 14th, and Kimi Raikkonen is 15th. They would qualify.
So you risk people at the moment: Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel, who's obviously an ex-champion, Latifi, Mazepin, and Mick Schumacher, son of the great Michael Schumacher.
I mean, what's your thoughts on Mick Schumacher's first season in polo? With Perez here doing a lap at the moment.
Well, he's certainly not set the world on fire, has he? He's not really got himself noticed, other than finishing 18th, 19th, or 20th in pretty much every race, unless people drop out. The car's not been great, and if you put the world's best driver in a poor car, they're still not going to be able to do what they would like to, if they win a good car. So for me, nothing special.
No. Verstappen here, Perez here, coming up to the final sector now. Hoover, what's your thoughts on what you're seeing so far?
I like the cockpit views.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah,
but doesn't look like very many opportunities. There's no parking spaces anywhere. It's very inconvenient.
I think there they
Yeah.
are. You got the little boxes there that have just gone past. That's where they can park.
For about 2.1 seconds.
I'm not keen on these car designs either because you're not going to get kids in the shopping in the back very easily at all. I mean, you can try, but it's not very well thought out, is it?
No, it's not. No, they're not. But these cars actually end this season. There's new rates coming in for next season, so these cars will totally change in design. So the tap temperature is 29 Celsius, it's 84 Fahrenheit, and the air temperature is 25 Celsius and 77 Fahrenheit at the moment. As Gasly's now on the lap here.
What time of day is it there?
It's coming into 4 or 5 o'clock, so it's coming in. This will be a day-night qualifying. So this is the same time that they'll be doing the race tomorrow. So Gasly's just done a 1:23. Russell's now coming around. He's in 14th place at the moment.
So Verstappen's just done another flying lap and put himself second. This time 5/100ths behind Hamilton. But
yeah,
can you see Hamilton going again or not?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's safe. I think
certainly not going to get 5 drivers that are going to beat 1:23, are you?
Ocon's just at the 1:23. Ricardo's now coming into it. He's in 10th place. He's coming into his final lap now, final sector.
Okay, I've actually got a serious question here.
Yeah,
how many times do you think they have to go round the new layouts on tracks before they get familiar with it?
Well, I can answer this one. What they get is back at base camp, there's a simulator. So what they do is they can simulate, obviously, the race.
Sorry, can I just say, sorry, Gasly's had his time deleted. Track limits are turn 10. So sorry, just let people know that.
So they have the simulator, but they have practice on Friday. I think they have 3 practice. Oh, what's that?
Somebody's hit the bollard there, Norris.
Yeah, so they have 3 practice sessions when they get there, but I think they have all. There is what I do know, because I did a course on it, is they have like these data guys and stuff, but they tend to have 30 to 40 people on the pit wall, and they have another 50 back at depot. And what they say is between 8 and 10 laps, the majority of them can predict the top 10 of the race because they've got all the data, which does then beg the question of, it's only human error that's going to change that. So it kind of, it's a difficult sport to get to love.
Just quickly, the session has been red flagged due to a bollard on the racing line. So it gives us a bit of time to welcome the Irish Hotspur in. Thank you, Dave, for watching. He says, come on, Verstappen. Yeah, that's to see us Irish people together. So I hope you're enjoying this. This is something we just thought we'd do because there's no match. And it's a bit of fun for us. So, it was the Haas that hit it. And I'm not sure if that was Mazepin.
Schumacher or Mazepin, wasn't it?
I call him Mazepin because he always spins. And then Norris then gave it another good whack as well. Went on the car, but the session has been red flagged. So that gives me a chance to. Any other questions you want to ask, Cooper?
Only silly ones like is it a one-way system? No, I've got nothing. I'm sort of taking it in at the moment, to be honest.
So I'll give you the top 10. It's Hamilton from Verstappen, from Bottas to Norris, Perez to Tsunoda, Ricciardo's in 7th, Ocon's in 8th, Alonso 9th, Gasly 10th, Sainz 11th, Leclerc 12th, Stroll 13th, Russell 14th, and Giovinazzi 15th. And in the who will be knocked out if the session is not started because there's only 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. It's Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen, Nick Latifi, Michael Schumacher, and Mazepin. Do you think it's just top 4 as normal, Phil?
Sorry, say again.
Do you think it's just normal? Can you see anyone being? Can you see Vettel getting into the top 15?
Yeah, he probably will when he does his next one. Maybe Raikkonen. Schumacher and Mazepin. They're absolutely 19 and 20. But again, it's a bit like the top four. You know, it would be a surprise if it's not a Mercedes Red Bull lockout in the top four. You might get one of the McLaren dropping in there.
Just while we've got a red flag here, Dave's out. Is anyone watching UFC tonight? I'll try to watch it. You watch it, Dave, Cooper?
Yeah, I'll do. I'm more into boxing, but I do enjoy a bit of the UFC lately, I must admit.
And Phil?
No, it's just not for me. Never really watched it. Probably no plans to watch it tonight.
I tell you, I'd love to get Jack's thoughts on this, being American watching Formula One. I mean, that would be funny.
Well, they really favour things like NASCAR, don't they?
Yeah,
Indy and all that sort of stuff, and
yeah. IndyCar racing is so boring. I find. I love it when they go on the ovals, though.
Session's back on. 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah. So the cars are just out there. Who's out at the moment? We have Sainz, Leclerc, and Giovinazzi. Yeah, and Giovinazzi. Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, and the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes have basically won that. I think Red Bull have to beat them by 27 points to win the Constructors' Championship. So that's more like going to be Mercedes again, which it has been for the last 6 years. So this will be the 7th year in a row they're winning the Constructors' Championship. But
the reason that's important, Coob, is basically the money gets dished out next season depending on where you finish in the Constructors. You've got like whoever wins the drivers is the prestigious award, but from your finance point of view, it's all about the Constructors. And Mercedes, like Derm said, is they're so far ahead now because Perez didn't finish the last race, and Mercedes ended up 1 and 3. So you'd need very similar tonight or tomorrow, for them to do that, but it would look unlikely.
But Vettel's just having a go at the driver in front. He just had a bit of team radio, annoyed at what he was doing. I think he blocked him. Sorry there, Cooper.
When you say dishing the money out amongst the constructors, how do you mean, like prize money for top constructors getting more money, or are they doing like the Americans do with the on gridiron and like you get draft sort of sessions where the teams doing the worst get top draft picks and that sort of thing?
No, how it works is the team that win the constructors get sort of, I think, around about, I think it's 100 million, and then it trickles down where you finish in the constructors. So that if you get a point, you automatically, the FIA will automatically pay for your freight to get taken around the world. So you don't have to pay for travel, and you get paid for, they pay for most things to give you prize money. If you don't score a point, you've got to pay for all that yourself. So that it starts. So Mercedes would say get 100 million, Red Bull would probably get 90 million, and it trickles down like that. But there's always if say you're an 8th team and you can finish 7th, that could be worth you 3 or 4 million for the next season.
Do you think that favours competition though? If the top teams are getting the bulk of the money.
I guess it's similar to Premier League, isn't it? Where if you win the Premier League, you get the most money. So by default,
Leclerc's
you have the most
6th.
money.
Sorry, Leclerc just gone into 6th now, 120 with a 123. Giovinazzi's just gone into 13th on the 124.118. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. We've just got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left of qualifying one. Sorry, so I do apologise. Didn't mean to jump over you there, Phil.
No, I was just saying. I guess it's like your Premier League. So if Tottenham win the Premier League this season, because we will, we then get the biggest pot of money, which by default gives you the most amount of money to then re-spend to improve your squad. So it would suggest, as in football with Formula One, is your best get better, and everyone else is forever trying to catch up on less resources.
Yeah, that's actually very true, Phil. That's actually a great point. Right, I just want to give the people at home who's out now that Hamilton, Bottas, Perez, Leclerc, Soda, Ricciardo, Ocon, Alonso, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Stroll, Russell, and Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Mazepin.
Oh, Hamilton's back out.
Lewis Hamilton's just
why would Hamilton go back out again when he's clearly number one? Is that just a bit of practice, or or what?
No, because they don't know what the cut-off time is, because this is a slightly new revised track, so the cut-off time will be different. He's just put in the fastest sector of sector 1. He's done a 53.101. This is now his quickest sector time.
But what I guess what I'm getting at, Dermot, is if he's set his time and there's 19 other drivers that have got a worse time than him, why would he need to do another lap? Other than, is it just a practice?
It's mind games. He wants to be the fastest.
Almost just to sort of re-show that not only am I quickest, I'm going to go quicker again, or potentially that. Yeah. Now
he's now done 0.338 quicker in the second sector.
So he's a third of a second up on his previous time. That's blistering pace, isn't it?
Yeah. It could break into either the high or the low 122s here. He really could. Driver at risk at the moment is Russell. Schumacher has done 2 personal bests for his first 2 sectors.
There he goes.
A 120.
Jesus.
A 122.845 for Lewis Hamilton. Bottas has done a 123.117. At the moment, Russell's in the danger zone. Mick Schumacher's gone up to 18th. Stroll is now in the danger zone here at the moment. He's on 15th. Gasly's.
That's absolutely blistering pace on that Mercedes, isn't it? Like you know, I just said to you, why has he come out?
Gasly in the 5th.
Come out and done half a second quicker.
Qualifying one's over. Perez has gone in the 4th with a 123.350. What can Stroll get here now? Latifi's now
just. He's in 15.
So what's Stroll going to do here? Will Latifi get into qualifying 2 for only the 3rd time this season?
Yeah.
No, he's out.
Apologies. Right
now, Vettel.
Stroll's just popped in. Vettel's on the bubble now. Alonso's 12th. He's gone into 11th with a 123. Sainz has gone into 8th with a 123.624.
What does it mean where it's got the flag up next to them?
That means it's finished. The qualifying section's over.
Yeah, but they haven't all got. So Hamilton, Bottas, and Verstappen haven't got flags.
Yeah, because they've come in. Because they're qualifying lap.
Oh, they're already in. So that means they're on the track. So the flag is they're on the track, but they're not racing. Yeah.
Yeah, the session ended while they're on their in lap. So the drivers that are out are Mazepin, Schumacher, Raikkonen on his last race in Formula 1 before he retires, Russell and Latifi. The teams that have gone into qualifying 2 is Vettel, Giovinazzi, Stroll, Alonso, Ricardo, Ocon, Sainz, Norris, Gasly, Leclerc, Masoda, Perez, Verstappen, Bottas, and Lewis Hamilton. So that's the end of qualifying 1.
There's your difference. That Mazepin was 1.5 seconds on his lap slower than the first place. That's monumental time, isn't it?
No, I think it was more than that. I think it was 2 seconds slower.
No, it just came up 1.5.
All right, I did see that. So it's normal, isn't it? That's sort of normal rally bottom 5, isn't it? As Russell comes up to the
no surprises there.
No. And qualifying 2 is coming up shortly. So your thoughts on the first bit of qualifying, Phil?
Yeah, for me, to be expected so far. I guess the difficulty is you don't need to overdo it in your qualifying 2 and 3 if you're in the top 2 teams, do you? Because you just don't need to. You know, it's all about qualifying 3 where it all happens.
I'm just gonna look at the. Yeah, I mean, Lewis Hamilton there, a 16.9 for the first sector, 35.7 in the second sector, and he was quicker in the first 2 sectors. Bottas had the quicker last sector. Verstappen did a 17.0 for the first sector, 36.0 for the second sector, same time as Bottas, but in the last sector he did a 30.2 where Bottas did a 29.9. Hamilton Bottas and Verstappen all did 6 laps, and Perez
2 minutes,
and,
guys.
and Tsunoda did 9. The most driver to do 11 laps was Leclerc. So, Cooper, how are you enjoying your first Formula One experience?
Well, it's not my first Formula One experience. I'll just it's I don't know, just well, it's watching something. Time has elapsed, so it's I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea really. But I mean, I must admit, I do enjoy the cockpit cameras, because when you actually feel like you're in there going around the tracks, it's that's quite an enjoyable experience. But I can't take too much of it. It's, I'm just football. It's all about football for me. So this is just something to fill the time. And
well, there's something different really with no matches this week. Well, no match for Tottenham.
it is. I can understand the drama in these things, and I even enjoyed that film about the some of the rivalries in the past, the sort of James Hunt and Niki Lauda and Prost and Senna and those sort of things. It's just nothing's grabbed me recently. I mean, I listen to Lewis Hamilton and I'm just think I'm not interested in anything he says. It just feels a bit sort of I don't know, sterile is the wrong word. Yeah. There seems to be more character in this sport a while ago to me. Just my impression, though.
No, I don't. I mean, I've been watching Formula One since 1984, since I was a little kid, and Ayrton Senna for me grabbed my attention. So he's always been my Formula One hero. You know, you've had many people down the years like Fangio, who won 5 world championships in different constructors. You had Ayrton Senna rivalry with Alain Prost, which is the most, I think, most televised rivalry going. I mean, that's what brought Formula One to many of the people, because of that rivalry. And also Bernie Ecclestone at the time, who ran Formula One, sold it to all the TV networks. And then you had him sadly passing away during the San Marino Grand Prix in '94, which was very again public. Then you've got Lewis Hamilton, who's now won. You had Michael Schumacher, who won 7 world titles, beaten Fangio's record. Now you've got Lewis Hamilton, who this weekend could become the most successful Formula One driver ever in our history. If he wins today, he'll be the 8th world champion. Time he's won the world championship, which nobody else has done before. I mean, he's got 102 world championship winning race wins. He's got the most poles. He's got the most everything. So Lewis Hamilton, statistically, is the most successful Formula One driver ever to grace our sport. So that sort of gives you a sort of brief history. I mean, how would it feel for you, Phil, if Hamilton beats Schumacher's record tomorrow? If he wins?
Do you know what? I don't know. I like Schumacher. I did follow him early on in my Formula One career. I just liked what the guy stood for. Intelligent guy, drove well, started at a poor company and it built up, and it just got better and better. I mean, it's nice to sit and say that you've watched somebody of today's age go through that and win that. I think his best victory would be this season, because it's been so nip and tuck for the whole season. But you know, I do follow Hamilton. I would prefer him to win, but it's more because I dislike him less than I dislike Max Verstappen. It's, you know, he's just, you know, you can't knock what he's on the field or on the track. You can't knock what he's done. You know, he's been an absolute master.
Yeah,
and you know, he's probably got a few more years in him.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Big Catman Jess, thank you for tuning in. And Dave is just saying hi to Catman. So thank you all for everyone who's tuned in to our Tottenham Country Go does F1.
Here we go with session 2.
Yeah, it's just started. We're not on the same level as Sky, but we're getting there. we're going to take over, aren't we, Goover?
I've got a question for you two, actually.
Yeah.
One of my sister-in-laws, they're mad into Formula One, and I didn't understand it. I didn't see the fascination. And she just said to me, it's like a football team. As soon as you pick a driver, you stick with them no matter what. And is it the same for you two, or are you sort of drawn more towards teams, or is it always just about the driver?
I've always been a Red Bull fan since I came into the sport. I was always a McLaren fan, but when Red Bull came in, I was then become a Red Bull fan because they were more fun. They were happy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been a Red Bull fan since I came into the sport, and a McLaren fan. So they're my two favourite F1 teams. Phil?
Yeah, for me, I would say my Formula One's like my rugby is. I watch it. I kind of prefer one to the other, but I wouldn't say I support anyone. It won't ruin my weekend if Hamilton doesn't win or if Leclerc wins or anything like that. Whereas obviously when it comes to Tottenham, when they don't win, it's the be all and end all. This for me, I'd say was I have a passing interest rather than I support.
I think that's probably why I don't get into it. I don't feel sort of any emotional connection to it. I mean, when Spurs come on, it's life or death. It's so yeah, that probably sums it up for me.
I mean, my two sports that I'm really into is football and Formula One. So you know, for me, this like for me, if I miss a Formula One race, I'm sort of shit. Damn. Do you know? I then watch the highlight. I love my Formula One. And when Tottenham have been bad, this has been my saving grace to watch this. So, do you know what I mean? It's been really good. Hamilton's just out in the first lap in qualifying. Two's gone faster in the first and second sector. Verstappen has done a personal best in the first and second sector. So this is like a straight shootout, really. There's 12. As Hamilton comes around the final corners, let's see what he does. He does a 1 minute 23.185. That's Hamilton's first time in qualifying two. Verstappen's now on his last third sector. He's now coming around.
They're both on different tyres now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what does that mean then if they're on a medium tyre for performance? What's the difference between a medium
it's a slightly slower tyre, but Verstappen's just 4/100ths of a second behind.
No, don't mate. 4/1000th. I mean, how do you even measure 4/1000ths of a second?
A blink of the eye. That's what it is. It's a blink of the eye. And this one now, whatever they finish their fastest lap on, they've got to use that time to start the race. So it looks like for me here, Hamilton, they're both on the medium tyre. The top six are on the medium tyre. That's Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Tsunoda, the Japanese driver, Norris.
So is it the fastest lap in this session? So even though he went quicker in in qualifying one.
No, whatever they finish fastest in this session, they have to start the race on that time.
Okay.
And then, because they're all now locked into parc fermé, they can't do anything on the car by somebody doing the front wing, or if they have to change a part, they have to change a part for part. If they have to change an engine, then it's a 5 or 10 quid penalty. It depends what they change on the engine. But at the moment, your top 10 are Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Tsunoda, Norris, Perez, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Gasly, and Verstappen are your first 10. It's the top 10 that go through to the third qualifying three. And then the dropout zone is Leclerc, Sainz, Ocon, Ricciardo, Alonso. So, any more questions, Cooper?
Yeah, there's a lot of technology on the steering wheels nowadays. Is there any sort of was there any sort of a big step forward that when that sort of changed over from this analog steering wheel? Or was it just a gradual over time thing?
I'll let you answer that.
Yes, of course there was the technology that's gone into it. I genuinely I don't know. I just know when you obviously see it, it's a tiny little thing, but there's an awful lot on there. The one thing I do know, because I watched a little video on it the other day, there's even a little button on there which allows them to take a drink because the drink gets pumped into them. So there's a bottle of like fluid and stuff, because they say they can lose between
Vodka, Bacardi, brandy.
they lose between 3 and 4 kilos a race, so that's pretty much half a stone. So they have to get the nutrients and everything to go back in because they sweat so much. It's obviously hot, and they go through horrendous amounts of G-force. So, but that's the one thing I do know about the button. There is one to pump the fluid into them.
Do you have to put like a couple of quid in there and like go down?
What they normally do is they normally pull over and just go to the vending machine, get a can of drink, and then just put it in the front of the car. So, but that's a really good bit when it's like compulsory.
Ocon's just gone fifth in the 123. Sorry, Alonso's actually gone fifth now with the 123.460. The times are coming in quick and fast. Leclerc, who's 13th, has gone into third with a 123.202. And Sainz in the other Ferrari has gone quicker than anybody with a 123.174 on the red tyre, on the softest tyre. So Ferrari look like they're going to go for the red tyre.
But when Mercedes started on their soft tyre, they went faster, and so did Red Bull, didn't they?
Yeah. If you are enjoying this, we will be back normal tomorrow evening with the match. I have put a poll up on our Twitter page what game we should go on. But as I said, we're only doing this as a bit of fun because there is no title match, and just because it's the first time since 1975 since two drivers were equal on points for Formula One World Championship, we thought we'd just do this. Max Verstappen here has got 8 sets of the soft. He's got three new compounds, and he's got 3 sets of the medium which are used, and he's got 2 sets of the hard which he hasn't used. So he's got 3 brand new sets of the soft tyre for qualifying 3. He might get one for the race as well, but we won't see to that. But your top 10 at this moment with 7 minutes to go. It's Sainz from Hamilton, from Verstappen, from Leclerc, from Bottas to Tsunoda, from Alonso to Ocon, from Norris to Perez, and the drivers that are in the knockout zone are Ricciardo from Stroll, from Giovinazzi, Vettel, and Gasly, and they're in the bottom 5. So it's the top 10 that qualify for the qualifying 3, basically the pole position shootout. There was a yellow flag, but that's now turned to green. We've got 6 minutes and 25 seconds left. Phil, what's your thoughts now? Who's going to? Can you see anyone in the bottom 5 in the knockout zone getting through? I mean, Perez will have to go out again, won't he?
Yeah, I think Ricciardo will. And then, I possibly definitely Ricciardo, possibly Stroll, but wouldn't be surprised if neither of them do it. I think your top 10's pretty well set now.
There you go. Who I thought just give that they put that in for you, so I thought just give you that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's the end of that then.
Yeah. Any more questions, Cooper?
No, just taking it all in. It's been so long since I bothered watching it because, like I said, I just couldn't get into the lack of character in it nowadays. Is that something you felt as well, Dermot, personally?
What's that?
Is there a lack of characters in the sport compared to what they used to be saying?
There is. I mean, you had Senna and Prost, you had James Hunt in the 70s. I mean, he didn't care. You had Nicky Lauda, you had like Clay Recazzoni, you had PK, that famous shot of PK and some Mexican taking them off, both getting out the car and having them punch up by the track. I mean, PK was literally laying into it. I mean, it's the most funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. And Mario Walker,
I remember that.
Yeah, Mario Walker going, "Oh, look at that! Take that! Oh, he's hit it!" And Mario Walker getting all excited. I mean, this year we've lost the great Mario Walker. I mean, what a commentator! I mean, that man can turn a boring race into the most exciting race. I mean, he's why I got into Formula One as well. As a little kid, hearing this man really excited on the TV, literally pulling you in, thinking you were the most important person he was talking to. Where he was talking to millions, but he made you feel he was talking to you. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Phil, with 4 minutes left and Sebastian Vettel on the warm-up lap? His last qualifying from round 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 12th, 11th, 12th, 10th, 17th. That's where he's qualified for the last.
He's got some good talent, but I would still suggest Vettel's a little bit older school than your newer drivers coming through, your Landos and Russells and stuff. I mean, it's just it's almost like it feels the battle for scraps, doesn't it? If any of those bottom 5 can get into the top 10, it's going to help them. But it is proper, fighting over the scraps at the end. Fighting over crumbs.
Yeah, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, the drivers going out now is Sainz, Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas, Tsunoda, Alonso, Norris, and Stroll and Vettel. They're both Aston Martin. I mean, Aston Martin is a big name. They're all out. The whole top 10 are out, apart from Ricciardo, Stroll. Vettel's just on the lap now.
There you go.
So every one of them are out now. The whole 15.
Those other 2 will have to go out because they're already in the bottom 5. Then if everyone else has gone out, I'm just looking at who had tyres left. So I just saw Hamilton's. He's got 4 sets of new tyres left.
Yeah.
How many? What do they have to use in the race? Do they have to use 1 of each, or do they have to have 2?
The rule is they have to use what I don't think they're going to do. They're silly bugger now. They're going to back each other all up, and then none of them get over the line. Fucking hell. I mean, that's going to cause a major crash one day. No, they have to use 1 compound. They have to use both compounds in the race, unless it's raining.
Yeah, but there's 3, aren't there? There's soft, medium, and hard.
Yeah, so they're either going to use the soft and the medium. I don't think they'll be using the hard here. It's not. If you use the hard, then it's like going into the middle of the field and just going against the wind. It just won't work. So with the soft and medium, Verstappen's got the soft tyre on, a brand new set to C5 compound. So I think he's going for it.
Cool.
But they're just backing each other up.
Typical Max style.
Yeah, 2 minutes ago, they're just backing each other up. It's absolutely ridiculous.
This isn't great for anyone, is it?
No. Verstappen now is slowing down to give himself a bit of a gap. But I think, who's that on the start of the lap? It is Alonso. Alonso starting around the first corner. Goes down the straight at 125 miles an hour. The highest they got on this track is actually 100. It's nearer to 100, and there's a yellow flag in sector 3.
What's that mean then?
Well, somebody's done some stupid buggers, isn't it? They're all backing each other up.
If they wave the yellow flag, what's the relevance to the drivers?
You cannot overtake. You have to stay in your positions. You can't overtake. Alonso's just done personal best in the first sector. Let's see what he does in the second sector.
Oh, just looking at the map in the bottom right-hand corner, both
you just keep us up to date who's coming across there, Phil, and if you see anything, let us know. Same as you, Google. If you see something we should talk about, let us know. He's gone slow in the second sector by 0.227. Hamilton's gone slower in the second sector after a personal best in the first sector. Has Verstappen started his lap, Phil?
Yeah, I think just looking at that, he's on the first bend. You got Bottas on the straight.
This could change very quickly.
They're all out, aren't they?
Well, not really. This could change very quickly. Right, Alonso, Perez is the driver.
Perez is in at 10.
Yeah.
Although there's no map, so I can't see where he is.
Hamilton's just gone quicker at 123.1. He's beaten Sainz, but here comes Stroll now. He's in 12th place. Can he get into the top 10? Perez is set a fast. Perez. Stroll is out. Perez, I'm looking at Perez at the moment, is just slower first sector. Purple sector.
Perez has gone
top. In pole. A 123.135. Ocon now. So Perez is through to qualifying 3. Leclerc is through to qualifying 3 as well. Gasly and Stroll are the 2 drivers that are out. Norris is on the lap here. So is Verstappen. Verstappen's done a bad first sector. Personal best in the second sector. Norris is in 10th. Where's Norris going to go?
Ocon's through then.
Ocon's gone to 8th. Here comes Lando Norris. 7th. He's on he's gone into 7th, so he's safe.
Sappin just about to finish off.
He's gone pole at 123.1, 122.8. And here comes Ricardo. Can Ricardo dislodge Fernando Alonso, double world champion, 1990, 2005, 2006, double world champion for Renault?
Yeah.
He does. He gets in. He does, and he just gets in by 100. I think that's 100 and whatever that is.
So now Max
So that's it.
But again, Max Verstappen was on different tyres, wasn't he? So he was on soft, whereas Hamilton's on medium.
So Verstappen, the two Red Bulls going to start the soft tyre. Hamilton will start in the medium, and Bottas will start in the medium. So they're on two different strategies completely.
What strategy will they be on then if they're starting on soft?
Well, I'll just give you a top 10 first. Going into the shootout: Ricardo, Ocon, Tsunoda, Norris, Bottas, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, and Verstappen. And the 5 drivers that have gone out: Vettel, Giovinazzi starts P15, P14 for Giovinazzi, P13 for Stroll, P12 for Gasly, and P11 for Alonso. So they're all out. So they can now choose. They can start any tyre they want to. They don't have to start the tyre. They've finished on. They can start on any tyre, but the top 10 now are locked in to the tyre they did the fastest lap on. They have to start the race in that tyre. As for the strategy, as you said, Phil, I have a funny feeling that Mercedes is going to want to go longer than Red Bull and try to stretch the tyre out. But I think Red Bull's idea is right. We need to.
Red Bull want to get ahead and build a bit of a lead, whereas Mercedes all come late, which is what I was saying earlier, isn't it? I think.
And also Perez has to finish ahead of at least one of the Mercedes, because you can't have Perez down in 5th and 2 Mercedes around Red Bull. So Perez will have to pull his weight down this third of the
certainly an interesting. How long is the final session? Is it 12 minutes?
10. Okay. Cooper, what's your thoughts so far?
Again, I'm just enjoying it when they're in the cockpit view. There's so much technical stuff going on that I don't really follow it too well. The only thing that would have a question of is the tyres. What's the fundamental difference between, say, having soft slicks or medium?
The softer tyre is a quicker tyre. It won't last as long.
So you're talking about planning about how many pit stops you're going to have in the race, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right,
The medium tyre will last a bit longer. The hard tyre, you could run a whole race in the hard tyre.
You're not talking about it's also affected by weather conditions, are you? Like if it's extremely hot, would you be seeing more sort of harder tyres, or will they be going soft again?
Yeah, well, see, the tyres are affected by the track temperature. So yeah, heat does come into it. I mean, you could have a really hot day, and the soft tyre will only last 4 laps, 5 laps, or 6 laps. So they do take that into consideration, but it all depends on track temperature. But it's just one of them things. But any more questions you want to ask? Just ask away. We'll try to answer them.
Again, sticking on tyres, you mentioned earlier about they have to have a certain amount of each, or some rule like that. I mean, to me, it would be a case of they could pick whatever they want as long as it's within the rules. But is it more complicated than that?
It is. They're given a set allocation at the start of each Grand Prix weekend. So and they get sets taken away from them as the end of practice 1 or end of practice 2, practice 3 in qualifying. So they're left with a certain amount for the race. As I said, whatever they finish on fastest time in qualifying 2, they have to start in the race. So they're always trying to leave a new set for the race, either a new set of softs or a new set of mediums. I mean, do you want to answer that question as well, Phil?
I've never. The tyres always kind of confuses me because it's. I suppose you're battling with. Let's say, for argument's sake, your soft tyre gives you a second per lap, but your hard tyres can go 20 seconds longer. So what you then look at is you're obviously then having to marry up and go, well, to get the soft in those 20 laps, they've got to do a pit stop. So how long's the pit stop? And it's not just about your 2 seconds that they actually do the business. There's all sorts to cover in. But, you know, it's all I know is it's very data driven, and it's very, you know, it's, yeah. I would suggest, obviously, what this is leading towards now, irrespective of what happens in this session, is that Verstappen, because he's starting on the soft, is going to be quicker early on. But so he's quicker on the sprints, but Lewis will be quicker on the marathon because he'll have more pace that will grow. And then once you get in behind him, he'll obviously have what we call the DRS, which gives him a little bit of extra speed, plus 2 very long straights in here, which does kind of favour the Mercedes.
So we're just waiting for the start of qualifying 3. Who do you pick for pole then, Phil?
I'm still going to go Lewis. But obviously we don't know now what tyres they're going to use, but I'm still, yeah, you know, when they both had the same tyre, Lewis was quicker.
I'm going to ask Hoover. I'm going to look forward to Hoover's answer to this.
Michael Schumacher, aren't you?
No, I was looking at that German. Who's going to be pole?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go for that German lad. Neither.
Hans neither.
If you're in the chat, just put in the chat who do you think will get pole. Session 3, qualifying 3 starts in 40 seconds. My tip for pole will be a Red Bull lockout, Red Bull 1 and 2.
Well, that's good. At least we haven't got to wait around for it. Sometimes they have massive delays in between, but that's quite good if they're.
But I want to thank everyone who has watched the stream and who has tuned in. We do appreciate it. It's something that's been very quickly put together, and we only came up with the idea a few days ago. So we didn't know if it was going to sink or swim, but we appreciate all of everyone, the comments, everyone that's tuned in. As I say, we're not as slick as Sky Sports F1, but we're doing our own little take on it, and we really hope you have enjoyed it so far. Qualifying 3 is now started. Verstappen, the Red Bulls are the first 2 cars out.
How do they decide
the
what
speed
order
trap?
people
Just
go
very
out in?
quickly. So hang on, very quickly. The speed trap. The Red Bulls are the same at 203 miles per hour, with Russell and third on 201 miles an hour. That's 327 kilometers an hour if you want to work in kilometers. But I want to again thank everyone. I don't know if you want to say something to the people that have tuned in, people.
No, that's fine. I've got nothing. I'm just, like I said, taking it all in.
No, I just want to thank you to the people that tuned into the stream.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Both of you. Good job. Thank you.
Phil,
it's the usuals, isn't it? Paul Brown, Catman Jess.
Yeah.
Our mate David at Irish Hotspur, and then John Fitzpatrick. Who else do we have? Brian Daigle popped on. Adam at the start. Not too many today, but then again, non-football day, so interesting to see how we do over the course of the over this weekend doing Formula One.
How do they decide what order the cars go out in for your Q3?
It's done race by race.
Pardon?
It's done race by race. It's done so Verstappen without first, last race, so Perez at the turn this race. It's all done race by race. We have we have Telez. Telez, big up. Thank you for joining in. And we've got Spurs Talk Show joining in. Thank you. Highlights. Sean Butler. Sean, hi, Sean. How are you? Yeah, but thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in. Right, here we go. Verstappen has started his lap.
I'm going to predict at the end of this lap.
Right, I just want to talk through this lap quickly. He's gone around the first corner. He's gone around turn 2, turn 3. The kink in the road. Look at that speed he's going. He's going very quick. He's pedaling like Freddie Flintstone on his way to the pub. He's round to the first. He's just been in the fastest first sector, the end of sector 1. Hamilton is coming up. Keep an eye on Hamilton for me. If you want to know what these times are doing, and YouTube as well, just let me know. Perez is now coming down to the big turn of turn 5. He turns around there at turn 5 and turn 6. He's now gone on to a long straight. And what's Hamilton done the first sector, Phil?
He was 16 something, but he's purple in the first section.
Verstappen's
16.8.
Verstappen's gone purple in the second sector as it comes round. Hamilton's now just coming up to turn 5 as well, and turn 6.
It's difficult to make a VAT max because he's got nothing to compare himself against, has he?
Well,
He's racing
Verstappen's
himself
just done
there.
a 35.643 second sector. He's now into the third sector. Lewis Hamilton, what's he done for the second sector? He's slower. He's slower than Verstappen in the second sector.
Ooh,
Verstappen
look.
comes up to the line, a 122.109.
122.1. Jesus, that's quick.
And Hamilton's now coming up to the final sector now. He's coming into turn. I don't know what turns because I haven't been watching this lap, but he's coming up now to the last 2 turns. 1, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, a 122.6.
He is half a second.
Half a second. So Verstappen, Bottas has gone fourth with a 123.192.
So now he's done well in there, hasn't he?
Perez is in 6th at the moment. So your top people that have got times on the board: Verstappen from Hamilton, Pole, second Hamilton, third Tsunoda, fourth Bottas, fifth Norris, sixth Ricciardo, seventh Perez, and Perez
has had an issue there, isn't he?
Yeah, Leclerc's gone fifth with a 123.370. So at the moment, if it finishes now, Sainz has just gone fifth. It'll be a front row for Verstappen and Hamilton. Whew. That was good.
Freeze.
And then Sean's just put good boys. That's good to hear, Sean. So at the moment,
surprised that Verstappen's suddenly now half a second ahead of Hamilton. I wonder what Hamilton's doing there because
I think Perez has gone into third. He's gone into third. He's put Tsunoda down to fourth and Bottas down to fifth. So basically, Hamilton's in a Red Bull sandwich with a bit of pickle and cheese and everything in the middle of it. So that's what Red Bull want now. And Bottas is in first. So Perez has split the Mercedes. It's like going into Noah's Ark. Red Bull, Mercedes, Red Bull, Mercedes. Then you've got the 2 Ferraris in fifth and sixth, Sainz and Leclerc. Norris from McLaren in seventh. Alpine, Ocon in eighth. Ricciardo from McLaren in ninth. And AlphaTauri, Tsunoda, the little Japanese Thunderbolt, hasn't got a time yet in 10th. So this is now, they're coming all in the pits now. They've put on fresh tyres now. And the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton is over half a second. So that was the end of the first, and there's been a race control. Tsunoda had his time deleted, track limits at turn 16. So he did the 123.0, but that's been deleted due to track limits going too far off the track. So that's the end of that. Right, Phil, any thoughts on that first bit of qualifying before they go out again?
No, I'm just surprised Hamilton is on that one is so far behind Max's. What fuel do they have in their cars now?
Very little. They're running on empty. They're literally running on absolute empty.
Because if that's the case, whereas he's been ahead of him all weekend, to suddenly be half a second is a bloody lifetime, isn't it? In this.
Anything you want to add? Cooper, what have you thought of that first bit of qualifying 3? Who do you think will get pole? I know you like that, but if you could pick Hamilton or Verstappen for what you've just seen, who would you pick?
Well, at the moment, I'd say it looks like Verstappen, doesn't it? But either it's 2 of the only names I really know nowadays. I was just looking at the constructors that was still left in it, and then I realised back when I actually did follow it a bit when I was a kid, it was Lotus was still a team.
Yeah,
that's how far back it was.
You pretty much got McLaren and Ferrari probably from when you last watched it, weren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Well, Mercedes as well. That's always actually no.
Didn't Mercedes take over from Braun?
Yeah. Did it? We have Brian Morgan Moore. Can you try to pronounce that, Cooper?
I don't know. I don't know which country it is.
But anyway, we don't want to get your name wrong and insult you. So
Let's have a go. Let's go for Bira Mugan.
yeah, thank you very much. And she's a Lewis Hamilton fan, so you're on Phil's side of the garage here. So Phil will be happy with that. And Dave's on my side. He's on for Verstappen. So, but thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in.
You can see the polls changing on TV. It's only 58% now think Hamilton will get pole, whereas at the start it was 66%.
Lewis Hamilton.
Here he goes again.
First, yeah, the two Mercedes now are first out, first and second, with brand spanking new.
Max likes that though, doesn't he? He likes to know what he's got to play.
Yeah. And then the Red Bulls are out now with Perez and Verstappen.
They're only going to have time for one lap, aren't they? By the time they've got out, done their one.
Yeah. So this is now, we can tell Verstappen.
Unless Bottas drives that slow that nobody makes it to the line.
They're all out, every one of them. Sonadi, Ricciardo, Ocon, Leclerc, and then you've got the two Red Bulls at the very back.
That's a bit bunched up for Red Bull there, isn't it? Sat in behind the two Ferraris.
But this is the only track that actually goes under itself and then comes out the other side. I don't know what we're looking at here on the telly. Replay something. Oh, this is when Perez let Verstappen by. That's why Perez was so slow.
On the that's where it is.
Yeah. He's
they're now sparking a lot under those Red Bulls. Look at them.
Well, the undertray keeps hitting the ground, doesn't it? It's the undertray that hits the ground. But we're all just
Where's Hamilton? Hamilton's coming down he's just been down the back straight. He's doing his hairpin. Yeah. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners left before he starts his flying lap. So he's half a lap ahead of Verstappen at the moment in distance, obviously not in time.
Yeah.
But this is him. This is all or nothing. This is the lap he needs to pocket it because he's got 2 minutes to go. He's not going to get. They never do 2 flying laps, do they?
No. I've got the driver tracker up now on the screen, so I'm going to need you to tell me, Phil and Cooper, who does fastest, because at the moment, I need to know.
All right.
And Hamilton is now coming up to turn 9 on his outlap. How long left?
Here he goes.
How long left?
1.5 minutes. 90 seconds left, and there's Hamilton 12 seconds into his lap. And he is 4 100ths behind Verstappen's top lap. So he's struggling here. And that's before, obviously, Verstappen's gone. Yeah. And he's going to struggle to pull that round, I think.
He might do. He's coming up to the end of Sector 2 now. He's coming to turn 6. Verstappen now
just started.
Yeah. He's coming down to turn 7. Hamilton done a personal best.
Hamilton's lost pace. He's 1.8.
Verstappen's gone quicker.
Yeah.
In the first section.
Hamilton's already behind where he was, so Verstappen's going to take pole.
Lewis Hamilton's now coming down to the final sector now. Can he do it? Can he get pole?
No.
Can he drag it back? They've been quick all weekend in the final sector, in sector 3. Can Mercedes do it? The constructor champions and the world champion. Can he do it? The answer is no.
Third of a
122.480. So he can go again. Will he go again?
No, he's not going again. Verstappen's going to take pole.
Yeah, Verstappen is now. Well, you don't know Perez could take it yet. Verstappen now coming up into the third sector. Can he deal a big blow to Lewis Hamilton's chances of becoming an 8-time world champion? And can Verstappen give himself a major boost to become the first world champion and the first Dutch world
Perez
champion?
Has gone into 4th.
So Verstappen,
Verstappen's done 1.5 seconds slower. I suppose he gave up there, didn't he?
Yeah, Verstappen. You've got the grid now for the Grand Prix. Is Verstappen in pole, Hamilton on the front row, the second row, Norris and Perez. The third row.
I don't know what the hell Bottas has done. He's down in 6th.
Yeah, the front row is Verstappen, Hamilton. Second row, Norris and Perez. Third row is Sainz and Bottas. Fourth row, Leclerc and Tsunoda. And then in the fifth row is Ocon and Ricciardo. So that is your top 10 for the Grand Prix. Verstappen has dealt a mighty blow against Lewis Hamilton for his for the eighth world title. He's now on course to win his first world title.
Mighty blow. I would say a blow, not a mighty blow, not by any stretch.
Of course it is. Kuva, what did you think of your first qualifying session?
I can't get past. It's not really my cup of tea anymore. But I must admit, when they are going round and you get the cockpit views in, and some of the sort of like drones chasing the cars around, it's actually it's quite an enjoyable watch. Then I'm just can't get excited about watching the times going up on the table and things like that. It's like stats all over again instead of watching a football game.
Well, I've been called a nerd in my time. I think this is my nerdiness coming out now. This is like Christmas Day for me.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? I mean, having said all this, I used to play like Formula One racing manager games on the computer. They're quite enjoyable for that point.
They are.
Yeah,
I mean, I do play Formula One on the PlayStation. It's so realistic as well. It's brilliant. It is quite fun. Phil, what's your thoughts on that qualifying session?
Yeah, I'm surprised at Hamilton's performance, and equally surprised at Verstappen. The indications were that Mercedes were faster, and I can't work out for the life of me why they're third of a second behind. That would be concerning for Mercedes. But the thing with this, there's so many tactics that a novice like me just hasn't got a clue on. I'd look at that and go, "Oh my God, that looks a disaster," but you just don't know. It could be that. What that means is that they're doing a one-stop rather than a two-stop, and that already gives them, an advantage of 20, 25 seconds in the middle. So it's all about race day, isn't it?
Yeah. And Kuba, psychologically, what does this give to? How does this boost Verstappen? If you're a psychologist and you're looking at it, thinking, how would this make him feel going to bed tonight? He's just got pole. He's just beaten Lewis Hamilton, the pole position, his championship rival. He's got the faster tyre on for the start of the grid. Do you think this would deal Hamilton a bit of a blow? Do you think Hamilton would be a bit downcast?
I'd say you don't win that many races if you're affected by seeing somebody start ahead of you. So I don't think it's really going to matter, is it?
Phil?
Yeah, likewise. I'd say it'd probably be a little bit miffed that he's not on pole, but whatever his strategy, he would know it clearly ahead of that. And if I'm honest, with the way Red Bull starts, even if Max started on pole and Verstappen was second, I still think Verstappen would have taken him on that first lap. I think the whole bit for tomorrow is the longevity, not the short, sharp pole.
Anything surprises you in that? Sorry, anything surprises you in that top 10?
Nah, not really. Nothing in there, is it really?
Not really. Bottas down there, not on the front
row.
Yeah,
Bottas down at 6th is a shocking performance, and it's no wonder they've let him go. When he's in, it should have been a Mercedes Red Bull lockout, shouldn't it? They got the two fastest cars by a country mile.
But do you think McLaren have come back well? But yeah, I mean. I think Lewis would just take this in his stride. He's done it before. He's done it 7 times before, so this is nothing new to him.
No.
So it's well, listen. Well, thank you for everyone who's joined us this morning on this F1 sort of. Yeah, go on, Kuba.
There is one thing. Don't you think it's a bit cruel that nobody's pointed out to him he got his head stuck in the toilet seat? Oh, he's just taking off now. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Cody Max said here. What did Cody Max say? When we were watching the 7-2 Brian lost, Cooper promised me we'd watch it back.
We should do. That's an exceptional game of football. We're just we're on a bad end of a hammering. That's all.
Well, I tell you what, Cody, we will find that and get that up for you. We'll try to get it up this week for you.
First half hour, we were really good on that.
Yeah.
What you had to say is we got beaten by the winners. So did we perform that badly? No, not really. Honest.
But again, Sorry,
If you look at all of those Bayern goals, they're all in the corners, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
like unstoppable shots. It was just something phenomenal. Sometimes you just got to take your hat off, say they just did us.
Just a quick roundup before we go. Hamilton from Stanford Hamilton, Norris from Perez, Sanchez from Bottas, Leclerc from Sonoda, and then Ocon from Ricardo. All of them are on softs apart from the two Mercedes, Sonoda, and one other driver I just missed who was on third. Then you got Alonso in 11th, Gasly in 12th, P13 for Stroll, P14 for Giovinazzi, P15 for Vettel, P16 for Latifi, P17 for Russell, um, P18 for Raikkonen. This is his last ever Grand Prix after 349 Grand Prix. And then P19 at the back in the Hasses, it's Mick Schumacher and Nikki Mazepin. Again, thank you for everyone who's tuned in this today. And absolutely, thank you so much. It really, we all appreciate. This was like something that was put together very quickly. It's not something we normally do on this channel, but just with no Tottenham game. So thank you once again for everyone who's tuned in, who's messaged, like Cody Mack, Sheen Butler, Adam, David, Irish Hotspur, and everyone else who's messaged. Thank you so much indeed. Phil, do you want to say something to people that have tuned in and watched?
No, just a big up to everyone. Like you said, it's something new, and we hope we've kind of filled the gap of Tottenhamless weekend. And come and join us tomorrow for the decider, for the finale of the F1.
And Kuva, we're gonna do a match on the evening as well, aren't we? So I'll let you talk a bit about that.
I've forgotten which match we decided on in the end.
Well, actually, should I get the poll up, see where we are on that?
That's a good idea.
It would be, wouldn't it? We're all smart. We're never organised on this channel for some reason.
Well, we haven't been going long. We need to get into our stride and find out what works for us, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. Right, the poll. Oh, okay. We have in 7% in 1962 or 67 FA Cup final, 15% for this 1973 League Cup final, and 50%. The 1982 Euro Cup Winners' Cup against Barcelona, 56%. And then in fourth place, and then in third place, in second place, it's a 1990 league game. So there's 27 votes, 10 hours and 32 minutes. Please all get over to Tottenham Tantrum, our Twitter page, and do up that poll. So I think it looks like we'll be doing the Tottenham versus Barcelona first leg at White Hart Lane tomorrow night, 82-83. And Phil's got some insight because he spoke to Graham Roberts, but we won't talk about that now. We'll leave that all for that stream. So that's what we're doing. Cooper, do you want to say anything about that?
No, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to have a little peek to refresh my mind on who's in the Barcelona squad, see if there's anybody we recognise from that lot. I have a feeling there will be. Otherwise, it's some of my favourite players in that early 80s team. Graham Roberts, Glenn Hoddle, Steve Perryman, to name a few. Lot of Irish contingent as well there for Dermot and all the followers he brings in with him from Irish Hotspur in a way, because we're always got that sort of link with David's channel there, haven't we, with the Irish Spurs following.
Right, so thank you very much all for watching. Phil, where can people find you, sir? Very quickly.
They can find me obviously on here and also on the 4 Hotspurs on Josh Tottenham Guy's channel, and basically dropping in and out of plenty of streams, just seeing what's going on in the community.
And Cooper, where can people find you, sir?
Anywhere there's a stream, there's a good chance I might get on it. Whether I'm in the comments or actually as one of the panel, but mostly, well, it's obviously going to be here, and the Irish Hotspurs always are home if it's not here. The two Bryans up on Tottenham on tour, Paxton Road, Spurs Asian I've been on a few times recently. that's a really nice laid back channel as well. And a few of those, giving Josh, the Tottenham guy, a bit of support coming up to his big charity 24-hour session on the 1st of January. But otherwise, just around the channels.
Well, again, thank you for everyone who's joined in this morning. We've really enjoyed it. Me and Phil have enjoyed it. Coover has sort of gone along with the flow. For all these questions, and thank you for that, for your input as well, Cooper. I mean, this show wouldn't work without you anyway.
This one would have.
Phil looks like he wants to go to sleep because he's got his arms in the air, so he's either doing the "Hey, it's over," or B, I'm really knackered. I want to go back to bed. Cooper's thinking, right, I'm heading to the pub now because I've had enough of this Rolex. And me, well, I'm going to go and bounce around a little fat man in some weird enough land trying to rescue a princess. So on that point, we shall see you later. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And Max for the title and Levy out.
Levy out.
Phil?
Leaving out.